Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Elise here at Plan with Elise, and today we are taking a look at my reading journal for the month of October. This video is a collaboration with Jess over at Knit Plan Jess, so I will have her channel, I almost said shop, channel linked in the description of the video, so make sure that you check hers out and subscribe while you are there. Everything that I'm using here will be linked in the description for you to pick up if you're interested. So this is a happy planner, happy plans and notes. And oh, I did not finish this. Okay, so let me talk about this. I stopped reading. I stopped reading on the 19th of October and just didn't pick a book back up. Tried a little bit here and there and just kind of didn't. Sometimes you get into a funk. But other than that, I read more than an hour a lot of the month. So it was just kind of one of those months that I got really into it and then sort of took a step back. And then over here is where I was tracking the books that I read. So I did finish 7 books. The book I did not finish was The Silence Between Us. But hopefully I will finish that in November. So this video is being filmed on October 31st. But I'm hoping I can finish that book maybe tomorrow and just kind of like kick off November right, or maybe in the next few days, but there's a lot coming up in my life. So this is where I tracked the books that I was reading. Then let's jump to my October overview. I did finish 7 books, which I'm proud of, given that I stopped reading about halfway through the month. The weird thing is, though, this month I do not have a memorable quote. I didn't write down or highlight any quotes from any books that I was reading. I don't know if I was distracted, if I just wasn't looking for them, but I enjoyed most of the books that I read, if not all of them, but I really didn't have a memorable quote. My favorite book of the month is called No Exit by Taylor Adams. That was a one-day read. It was really good. I did see that this is a movie on Hulu, and I actually went to watch it last night, but it looked too scary to watch as a movie for me. I really don't like scary things. Books, I'm okay with scary. Movies, I can't do. And I did read 2,036 pages. I sort of stopped using this. I mean, I wrote down Sunshine of Your Love, but I didn't write down The Silence Between Us. I'm definitely going to simplify things a little bit more in my reading journal for the month of November. I feel like this reading journal with the setup I have has worked for me for 2 years. Well, it worked for me last year and it worked for me for most of this year. And then I just kind of stopped over tracking. And so I think we're going to simplify things in 2024. Now, let's jump to some of my tracker pages. Well, these are examples, but this is my reading 100 books. We are at 86 for the year. I do have a tutorial. I added a tutorial. It's an unlisted video because I didn't feel like it was necessary to publish it publicly, but I'll link it in the description also, showing how I resize these book covers. But I really love being able to see everything at a glance here. And then we also have my Reading 100 Books bookshelf, which is from my Etsy shop. So it's really motivating to see just a couple left to fill in. Then we have my A to Z reading challenge. Thank you to those of you who in the September video noted I could use XOXO Cody for X. It just like didn't even occur to me. So we are 2 more to go for that. I haven't finished filling this in. This is what I'm saying. I'm not using this planner as thoroughly as I have in the past, but I'll get that filled in. This is also for my Etsy shop. And then where's my book bingo? I have book bingo here. This planner needs to be reorganized a little bit. Here's my book bingo. I started an author with a disability book, but that was what I didn't finish. And that one was The Silence Between Us. And then we just have a few more to get to. I also was about to start a book from my bookshelf and then just kind of couldn't really get into it in the moment that I went to do it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go to reach my goal. All right, now let's talk about the books I read. These are also from my Etsy shop. Most of the stuff in this journal is from my Etsy shop because I decided to create things that, you know, worked well for me that I wanted to use. So I do have a tutorial on printing these book covers. That's in another video, but I'll include that in this video, like in the description. Okay, so the first book I read is called No More Bad Days. It's a thriller. I read a lot of thrillers. I feel like they kind of get me out of my funk and out of my current, you know, whatever I'm experiencing. And I thought, you know, this was fine. I don't often read bad thrillers. We're going to give it a 3. That's by Lindsay Whitaker. Then we have My Daughter's Boyfriend, which was also a thriller. And I wish it were longer. It was 249 pages. I felt like it probably could have been longer and then it would have gotten more stars from me. But it was almost too quick of a read. And this is about a girl in England who meets a guy in California online. And she and her mom travel to California and go see him, and trouble ensues. Then we have The Perfect Escape, which is another thriller by Daniel Hurst. I do really enjoy Daniel Hurst books. I think that they're really easy to read. And this is like a couple's getaway gone wrong. And this one I'm also going to give a 3. I don't know that I like super loved any book I read this month, but the thing is, it may be more about me and the headspace I was in this month versus the books that I read. Then we have Unbound, A Woman's Guide to Power, a master of unpicking power dynamics. And this was recommended to me by a friend. This is a business motivation book. And I found it, you know, to be really good in terms of like guidance and conversations in relationships, business, personal, family, all of that. So this will get a 4. If you are struggling with a power dynamic and you just want some tips, this book may be helpful for you. Next up, we have Odd Man Rush. So this was a really interesting read because I have read straight romance, LGBTQ plus romance. This was the first book I've read that was a throuple, 3 people. And I saw a lot about it on Instagram. And actually, most of what I saw on Instagram was the author sharing how negative people were being about the book because if they felt that 3 people in a relationship was unnatural, which is actually why I wanted to read it, because I felt like I wanted to support this author who was doing something a little bit different in the writing space. And this I'm gonna give a 4. I have to warn you, it's very steamy, a little steamier than I expected it to be. But overall, it was a really interesting book. And I thought it was good. It was written well. Kristen Granada, I think all of her books are on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a Kindle Unlimited membership, they are free. I would guess they may all be as steamy as that one though. So if you're looking for the steam, Odd Man Rush. No Exit by Taylor Adams. That was my favorite book of the month. And this is a thriller also. And this is about a girl that is driving during a snowstorm, or young woman, college, driving during a snowstorm and goes to a rest stop to get some shelter and kind of witnesses a kidnapping that she tries to save a child from, a child kidnapping in the process. It's really, really good. Keeps you on the edge of your toes. And then Sunshine of Your Love. I've read other books by Kirsty McManus. She's the one who last year I read the 80s, 90s, 2000s series. And it's just like lighthearted, really good. This is a grumpy sunshine romance comedy. It's a girl or woman, again, who goes to interview for a job, and it turns out that she's being hired on a trial basis to split the job with a guy for 3 months until one of them gets hired, and the guy is grumpy. And then just stops being grumpy. It's a romance, so you kind of know what's going to happen, but it was really good. So, you know, this is kind of a quick video this time because nothing I read was like groundbreaking or this or that or like unbelievable, but I made progress on my goals. I did start reading, like I said, The Silence Between Us, but I have not yet finished it. Typically, I really try to finish within the end of a month, but it didn't happen this time, so it's okay. There's always November. So that is a wrap. Make sure you go check out Jess's video. I'll link everything in the description that I referenced. Happy reading. If you read something great this month, let me know what it was. Thanks for spending time with me today, and I will see you soon.